If you're thinking about moving to Fairfield County, you may have narrowed your search into two towns, Fairfield and Westport. And I can't tell you how many times I hear the question from buyers, and they'll ask me, Jen, everyone keeps telling me Westport is amazing, but is it really worth close to paying $1 million more than in Fairfield? And it's a great question, because if you look at the map, these towns almost look identical. They sit right next to each other on Long Island Sound. They both have beautiful downtowns, excellent schools, Metro North service into Manhattan, and some of the most desirable neighborhoods in Connecticut. So why such a big difference in price? And more importantly, how do you know which one is the better fit for you? After helping buyers relocate to Fairfield County for more than a decade, I've learned that people usually aren't deciding between a good town and a better town. They're deciding between two different lifestyles. And that's exactly what we're going to cover today. We will compare home prices, taxes, neighborhoods, commuting, recreation, schools, and what it is actually like to live in each town. So by the end, you'll have a clearer idea which one fits your family and your budget. If we haven't met before, I am Jennifer Lockwood, a local realtor here in Fairfield County, and I have helped people relocate here every week. So let's get started. Before we talk about home prices, it helps to understand the size of each town because that really shapes the feel of what it's like to live here. Fairfield is home to roughly 62,000 residents, making it one of the largest towns in Connecticut. Westport has just under 28,000, so it's less than half the size of Fairfield. It doesn't mean Fairfield feels like a city, because it definitely doesn't. Both towns have that classic New England coastal charm. But because Fairfield is larger, it naturally offers more neighborhoods, more restaurants, more shopping and parks. There's 3 Metro North stations instead of 2. Westport has a very different feel. Because it's smaller, it feels more intimate, more boutique. The downtown is compact and it's beautifully maintained and polished, and the luxury market is a bigger part of Westport's identity. And you will notice that luxury in everything from the architecture in Westport to the shopping and the dining. Now, one isn't better than the other, they're just simply different. Some buyers love having more variety and more neighborhoods to choose from, and others are drawn to the smaller town feel and the luxury lifestyle that Westport offers. And one thing I always tell my clients is that choosing the right town is actually harder than choosing the right house. Once you find the town that fits your lifestyle, the house usually becomes much easier to find. One of the things that makes Fairfield unique is how connected parts of the town are. In the right neighborhood, you can walk to the train station, grab dinner or coffee downtown, and continue on to the beach, all within roughly 2 miles. For buyers relocating from Manhattan, Brooklyn, or Hoboken, that's often a pleasant surprise. They want more space and a suburban lifestyle, but they don't necessarily want to give up walking to restaurants, the train, or the waterfront. Not every neighborhood in Fairfield offers that walkability, but areas around Fairfield Center, the beach neighborhood, and parts of Southport do. You can spend a Saturday morning grabbing coffee downtown, browse the local shops, meet friends for lunch, and then walk to Jennings or Penfield Beach without getting back in your car. Now, Westport is laid out a little bit differently, and for many people, that's part of its appeal. Downtown and the waterfront are really 2 separate destinations. You might spend a morning shopping along Main Street and having lunch by Saugatuck River, then take a short ride to Compo Beach or Longshore Club Park for the afternoon. Longshore is one of Westport's signature amenities. Residents can access public golf, tennis, swimming, sailing, and a marina, and a waterfront recreation that's pretty hard to find anywhere else in Fairfield County. It is one of those places where families can spend their entire summer days, and for many buyers, it's a major reason they choose Westport. I always encourage buyers to visit both towns before deciding where to focus. Online listings can only show you the house, but they can't really show you what it actually feels like to live in the community. So now that we talked about the overall feel for each town, let's get into the numbers, because while Fairfield and Westport look similar on the map, the difference in home prices is significant. But as you'll see, there's much more to the story than just the purchase price. But we'll start with the biggest difference, and that's probably the reason you're watching, and that is price. At the time that I'm filming this video, the median sale price for single-family homes in Fairfield is approximately $1,150,000, while Westport sits around $2.3 million. That's a difference slightly over $1 million. but I don't want you to walk away feeling that Westport is simply overpriced, because it isn't. These two towns attract slightly different buyers and offer different lifestyles. Westport has one of the largest luxury markets in Connecticut, with consistently more homes selling in the 3, 5, and even 10 million plus range, and those sales naturally push the median price higher. Fairfield has luxury homes too, especially in Greenfield Hill, Saugatuck Hill, and even parts of the beach area, but it also offers a much broader range of neighborhoods and price points. And that's one of the reasons people compare these towns. They're both incredible places to live. They just offer different ways to enter the market. The conversation I have most often with buyers isn't really about median prices. It's about what their budget actually buys. So say your budget is around $1.5 million in Fairfield. That might buy you a newer colonial with 4 bedrooms, over 3,000 square feet, a finished basement, 2-car garage, move-in ready, and in a great neighborhood. That same budget in Westport, you may be looking at an older home that needs updating, a smaller house, or property further from downtown or the train. Now, if your budget is closer to $2.5 to $3 million, the conversation completely changes. That's where Westport really begins to shine, with beautiful custom homes, striking modern architecture, larger private lots, and luxury finishes throughout. If that's the type of home you want and it fits your budget, Westport has some truly spectacular options. Now let's talk about taxes, because most buyers assume that because Westport has higher home prices, it automatically has higher property taxes. And that's not how it works in Fairfield County. Property tax is determined by the assessed home value and the mill rate, and that mill rate varies town to town. Both Fairfield and Westport recently completed a town-wide reevaluation and now a significantly lower mill rate. So Fairfield's mill rate is at 19.19 and Westport is at 13.2. So while property values increased significantly, the mill rate did decrease in both towns. So if you compared two homes selling for exactly the same price, Westport would actually have lower property taxes. Of course, that's not usually the case because the average Westport home costs considerably more. So the lower mill rate helps offset the higher price points. This is why I encourage buyers to stop focusing on the single number and instead look at the complete monthly payment when you're looking at your mortgage, property taxes, homeowners insurance, and if you're near the water, flood insurance. Sometimes the monthly difference between the two homes is smaller than many buyers expect. Other times, stretching into another town simply doesn't make financial sense, and the total monthly cost always gives you a clearer picture than the purchase price does alone. Another reason both towns are so popular is the commute to New York City. And the good news is you can't go wrong in either town. Both are on the Metro North train line with direct service into Grand Central. Westport sits a little closer to Manhattan, so you'll generally save a few minutes on the train into the city. Now, if you commute 5 days a week, that could matter. If you're mostly remote, it's less of a deciding factor. What I usually tell buyers is to compare the neighborhoods, not just the towns. A home 5 minutes from the Fairfield station may give you a quicker door-to-door commute than one 15 minutes from the Westport train station. Those details don't show up on online listings, and they really make a big difference once you're living here. Now that we covered the numbers, let's get into what I think is the most important part of the decision, what it's actually like to live in each town. Because once you've narrowed your budget, the next question becomes, can I picture myself here? Now, one of the things I love about Fairfield is it doesn't feel like one town. It feels like several different communities rolled into one, and every neighborhood has its own personality, which gives buyers a lot of flexibility. I have made previous videos on the neighborhoods in Fairfield, and I'll put their links below this video. If you love being close to the water, the beach neighborhood is really hard to beat. It has walkable access to the beach, and you can walk to downtown and the train. Now, Greenfield Hill has a completely different feel with winding roads, stone walls, larger lots, and some of the most beautiful homes. The university area offers tree-lined streets close to downtown and the train, while Strathfield and Lake Hills attract buyers who want quieter residential setting with an easy access to commuting routes. Now, Westport also has neighborhoods with distinct personalities, though the town feels more cohesive because it's smaller. Compo Beach is one of the most sought-after waterfront neighborhoods in the county, while Saugatuck has become incredibly popular for its walkability to restaurants, shops, and the train. Now, Greens Farms neighborhood offers beautiful properties with a quieter residential feel, while Coleytown and Old Hill offers larger homes, mature landscaping, and stunning architecture. So when buyers ask me to describe the difference, I usually say Fairfield offers more variety, while Westport feels more curated. When people ask me which town has more to do, my answer always is the same. Both offer an incredible quality of life. They just offer different experiences. Fairfield has a larger downtown, more neighborhoods. There's 2 universities that bring cultural events to town and the college athletics to town, 5 public beaches, marinas, golf courses, parks, and miles of walking trails. Westport offers outstanding waterfront recreation along shore. There's beautiful beaches, nationally recognized library, thriving art scene, excellent dining, and a downtown that really feels like a destination all itself. Another question I hear a lot is about the schools. Both Fairfield and Westport have an excellent public school system, and they're constantly among the reasons people choose these towns. The main difference is the size. Fairfield is a larger district with 11 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 public high schools. So families often have more neighborhood options. Westport's system is smaller and tends to feel more intimate, and it's known for its strong academics, its outstanding arts programs, and high community involvement. Both have excellent reputations, and I've worked with many families who have been extremely happy with each. And I also have my clients refer to niche.com just to look at school ratings. Make sure you understand what goes into those school ratings when you're looking at those numbers. And there's one thing worth mentioning. Because both towns sit along Long Island Sound, if you're buying close to the water in either town, pay attention to flood zones and flood insurance. 2 homes on the same street can have very different flood insurance costs depending on elevation, FEMA maps, and how each home was built. It shouldn't discourage you from buying near the water, but it's something to understand before you make an offer. This is one of those areas where a local realtor really makes a difference. Because it's about more than finding the right house, it's understanding the ongoing cost of owning it. So by now, you may have started to picture yourself in one town more than the other. Maybe you're drawn to Fairfield's variety of neighborhoods and its connected downtown to beach lifestyle. Or maybe you're picturing weekends in Westport with its boutique downtown, vibrant art scene, and afternoons at Longshore or Compo Beach. By this point, my buyer consultations, most people already have a favorite. They just don't realize it yet. And if you're still torn, that's completely normal. That's exactly where many of my clients are when they first reach out. And the truth is, I don't think there's a wrong decision here. These are 2 of the most desirable shoreline communities in Connecticut for a good reason. What I've learned after all these years is that the question isn't which town is better, it's which town feels like home to you. And that's something you can't always figure out online. You have to spend time here. You have to walk through downtown, visit the beaches, drive through the neighborhoods. I always think it's really important to stop for lunch somewhere and feel the vibe of the community. Go to the playgrounds, see what the commute feels like, all different times of day. And imagine what a Saturday afternoon or a Tuesday evening would actually feel like. That's usually when people know. And that's why most of my relocation clients call me before they even schedule a showing. So instead of spending weekends driving through 6 or 7 towns trying to figure it out alone, we spend about 30 minutes talking through what they're really looking for, their budget, how often they'll commute to New York, whether they want a walkable downtown or more privacy, whether being near a beach is important to them, what kind of house they envision, and what's the most important thing for their family. Once we narrow down the towns that truly fit, finding the right house becomes so much more enjoyable. If you're planning to move to Fairfield County and you're still deciding between Fairfield and Westport, or maybe any of the other towns of Fairfield County, I'd be happy to help. My contact information is below and on the screen, along with the links to my website, relocation resources, and a home resource tool. I do have a Fairfield County relocation guide that is very helpful in understanding how Fairfield County is laid out. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm creating a whole series comparing Fairfield County towns because I know how important it is to choose the right community when you're moving somewhere new. Over the next few weeks, I'll be comparing towns like Fairfield, Darien, Westport and Weston, Fairfield and Trumbull, and several others. And if there's a comparison you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments. I read every single one of them, and many of my videos come straight from your suggestions. Thanks for watching. I'm Jennifer Lockwood, and I hope this gave you a better sense of the differences between Fairfield and Westport. I look forward to helping you find the right place to call home in Fairfield County, and I'll see you in the next video.